Historically speaking, every cartridge we carry in a handgun on our persons now for personal defense comes from either a law enforcement or a military background. They've all been designed for militaries fighting militaries or for the constables or police officers in our communities to protect us. And that
How does that differ from the goal of a self-defense round? They're both supposed to do the same thing. I mean, I guess with military, it's more of a, just let's not go there. Yes, may not be the most popular for carry, but it's not a bad round. I'm sure it was designed just to sell in general. But also, something that's made for military and police has a reputation, a track record, etc. that's going to help it sell. Duh.
That's what we have to choose from, and that's what we've used for so long. After the turn of the century, U.S. military was using 38 caliber pistol cartridges and developed the 45 ACP specifically for a role in military use. The 9mm was developed in Germany for the same military type purposes, is to give them a better capability. Finally, there is a cartridge design specifically for your need, the average everyday citizen that carries for self-defense on a regular basis. It's called 30 Super Carry. It's from Federal, and frankly, it's about time. During development, the main features that the Federal engineers were really concentrating on were capability and capacity. The 45 ACP, you have 8 rounds in a single stack magazine, 10 rounds in the 9mm single stack magazines, and for your 30 Super Carry, you have 12 rounds in a standard size single stack magazine.
That's at least a fair enough argument for a lot of people. Some people are going to buy one gun over another because it holds 1 or 2 more rounds. Later on, he says something specifically about concealed carry, which a lot of people go with a compact or subcompact, which means their magazine is going to be shorter. So that means you might get 1, maybe 2 more rounds over something else. But compared to a 9mm, you might get 1 more round. And that's it. He's comparing you might get one more round in popular self-defense handguns.
The more ammunition that you can carry in your gun with a solid performance, the more you're going to win that fight. More ammo, more chance you have to survive. That's the way it is.
Rarely that makes that much of a difference. Occasionally it does, and that's why people want more ammo. Like me, I carry a gun that has 18 rounds of 9mm. I'd rather have a gun that's 10mm, even if that means holding like 14 rounds. But 10mm are always expensive for some goddamn reason.
When performance comes into play, you're always going to have a group of guys that will say, why will I carry this when I can carry that?
Because they're not thinking about performance. They see bigger bullet and they're like, ha, more oomph, more bang, bigger bullet, make bigger hole.
Because in a gunfight, when you're talking about pistol calibers, what truly matters is how fast can I...
You see, he couldn't even say it with a straight face right there. Just what truly in that fucking blinking bullshit, because he knows he's talking out of his fucking ass.
Put accurate rounds, as many as I can, on target. And so...
Anatomically significant shot. Not 30 anatomically significant shots, unless there's 30 motherfuckers and somehow you hit them all good before they hit you.
When you're talking the 30 Super Carry with 9mm ballistic capabilities, more rounds in your...
With specific loads, it'll be just like with the 357 SIG. Lighter bullets, it matches the 357 mag. Heavier bullets, falls on its face. I'm not a big fan of overly heavy bullets for the caliber, but something to keep in mind.
Your magazine, smoother, easier to shoot with less recoil.
No. If there's 9mm levels of energy coming out of the barrel, it's going to have 9mm recoil. The end. The recoil impulse might feel a little different, but it's going to be like a 9mm. If it's not like a 9mm, then their performance claims are just a fucking lie.
Rapid re-engagements and a lot of rounds on target, and that is what makes it effective.
A lot of rounds on target if you know how to shoot. If you can shoot this thing well, you can shoot a 9mm well. The end.
Now, I've shot a lot of different 1911s. I have them in all different calibers. But this cartridge, it was very, very smooth. It flowed really well on target. There's very, very little recovery in this cartridge, especially in a full-size
Notice
gun.
they're comparing
So
the recoil to a
you're talking
45
about
and not a
more rounds on
9mm.
target effectively, this little cartridge is everything that they
And
designed.
even by their numbers, the difference is minimal. With somebody who, it looks like he knows how to
Federal
shoot.
has tested it extensively across the board. I've shot the cartridge a lot. I love it. I'm sold. It does everything I wanted to do. The private gun owner in America that carries concealed now has a cartridge
look, it can
designed
blow up
specifically
letters.
for their use, and it's amazing.
Amazing my ass. It's another option that may be suitable for some people and doesn't look like it's just a complete joke. Like, that's all there really is to say about it. It doesn't look like a complete joke. Their advertising looks almost like a complete joke. It'll replace 380 for a lot of people, I'm sure. And I'm sure you can't expect a really light gun because any that I've seen have a really thick barrel. That's going to add a bit of weight, so, yeah, whatever. Anyway, as long as they don't make guns that have a thicker magazine so it can also fit 9mm and this, then you can get a smaller grip. But if they do like Glock does with their 9s and 40s, it's like the same size gun fits either. Not to mention Glock has a thicker mag. It's probably part of the problem with 10mm because I'm pretty sure a lot of police agencies were using Glocks with their thick ass bullshit. But anyway, that's for another day. But yeah, there's not a lot to say about this. Like, it can be useful, but whatever. If you're going to get a 380, you might get this instead. Some people might get this instead of a 9mm. I'm willing to bet with way most people are like, no, 9mm is proven, this is smaller, how could it be as good, and shit like that. Like, a lot of people are going to be reluctant to consider it worth a damn at all. Anyway.